I only realized something was wrong after the conversation was already over. It happened during my second semester in college. I had stayed late on campus finishing an assignment, and by the time I finally left, most of the streets around the university were nearly empty. The buses had mostly stopped running by then, so I just decided to walk back to my dorm. I remember it being unusually cold that night. The roads were quiet, the shops nearby had already closed, and the only sounds were distant cars every few minutes and my own footsteps. I was nearing one of the side streets beside campus when someone suddenly called out from behind me. "Hold on a second." I turned around and saw a man standing near the pavement, holding a flashlight pointed toward the ground. He was wearing dark clothes with a reflective vest over them, and something about the way he spoke made me immediately assume he was some kind of police officer or campus security. He approached me slowly and said, "What are you doing this late?" I put my hand in front of my face, shielding it from the light as I replied hesitantly, "I was working on an assignment." He immediately began checking me without warning, before asking, "And where are you headed to?" I froze for a moment from the sudden touch, before I said, "I'm going back to my dorm." He nodded as he scanned me, from head to toe, with the light still obstructing my view. Then came another question, one that caught me off guard. He asked, "Do you usually walk alone?" I hesitated for a moment before admitting that I usually did. He asked, "Are there police patrols around here?" That question made me immensely surprised, to which I finally gathered up the courage to ask back, "Are you campus security?" He paused for a moment before saying, "Yeah, something like that." His tone came out as more hesitant than assuring. He immediately asked the same question again, demanding that I tell him the status of police patrols here. I shook my head, not sure if there was any. He then took a step closer to me, with the beam of his flashlight now completely in my face, and asked, "Anyone awake waiting for you back there?" I felt my heart racing and my legs started slightly trembling. I gulped as I was able to push out a faint "No." Once again, he responded with a quiet I calmly yet nervously asked, "Am I good to go now, officer?" He replied with, "Not yet." I gulped once more as I started getting increasingly worried. He said, "Come over here for a second," as he motioned for me to follow him. I quickly obeyed, fearing any further escalations. I was still unable to see his face, but I followed him nonetheless. He kept moving until he stopped near an alley and turned toward me. He gestured to come over, but I stopped dead in my tracks. I asked, "Why are we going over there?" with my voice shaking. He instantly replied with, "Just come here." He mistakenly lowered his flashlight for a moment before pointing it toward me again, but I was able to see it. Not a single identification was present. He didn't have a badge, and his reflective vest was a regular commercial one. I started feeling sick, to which I just yelled, "Sorry, I have to go," and started walking away. He said, "Come here," as I started hearing footsteps slowly following me. I instinctively quickened my pace as I heard him saying, "Get back here." I started walking faster, and so did the footsteps behind me. At one point I heard a click, followed by darkness. I looked behind me and I was only able to see his silhouette, still following me. That was the last straw. I started running back to the door, never looking back. Once I got to the premises, I looked behind. It was totally empty now. I hurried and got into my room and collapsed onto my bed, evaluating the whole encounter. I went to bed, and upon waking up the next morning, I checked our university's announcements group. My heart sank once I saw a university notice discussing reports of someone dressed as security approaching students late at night. I dropped my phone as I laid my back against my bed, wondering how many steps away I was from something terrible. If you enjoyed tonight's story, consider subscribing for more every Saturday.